2017 Ford Escape. Now the only difference in this one, your refrigerant charge can be the same even though it's YF refrigerant. The only big difference is look at the oil quantity. It's almost cut in half. If you have this engine, you have nearly half. You don't even have 3 ounces of refrigerant oil in the system. If you have this engine, you got 3.4. And so this is why when you're doing your oil, it's very, very important. And you might have a third option. Instead of PAG, if it's a hybrid, they might put POE oil. So you'll have a difference on that too. So pay attention to these. And just because the amount of refrigerant is the same does not mean the oil quantity. Do not double up on the oil on a small system. The customer will complain about poor performance. And the cure is very expensive. It's very laborious. I got the high side off because I was just disconnecting the gauges. We're down to 30. We're coming out 38 degrees is coming out of the dash. It's 82 degrees out right now. And so this customer will be having, this was from, this is a gas station. And he started calling me, after you have some of these stations and cars or with the YF vehicles and stuff like that, if you have a few complaining customers and get you in trouble, it could get really expensive for the repairs. It's going good. Check out the condensation. Nice and cold right there. 38 degrees coming out the dash, so she'll be happy. And so a couple mistakes with customers and the car leaves because something was done just a little bit wrong, and you have a comeback. You know how expensive comebacks are. And when you have a couple of these cars and you can't fix the comeback, and it ends up going to a dealership because the customer doesn't bring it back to you, as a little shop, you have to pay the price to fix it correctly for something you did wrong. And that could get really, really, really expensive really fast. And if you only have, like, you got 4 bays here, can you afford 3 or 4 comebacks in a week on air conditioning that the customer took them to the dealer and then comes back with you for a $1,200 or a $3,000 bill because it was a compressor you roasted or you had contaminated refrigerant? Well, that's why I'm doing AC here, to make sure there's no more problems that are very expensive, because those kind of comebacks can eat into your profits really big. If you're a customer watching this, you don't understand. If you have a comeback like that, it can cost you 3 times the amount in losses, because not only do they have to stop their job and take the comeback and redo it again and try to find out what's wrong, they're not making money on the next vehicle for those billable labors plus parts. They're doing it for free, and then it doesn't work. And then you as a customer, you take that car to the dealership because now you want it fixed right, and the dealership is like 2 or 3 times more expensive, especially if the shop burnt out the compressor. Then the shop has to pay the bill, and that's no bueno. That doesn't go over very well. So what I'm finding is more and more shops are making more and more mistakes on cars and having many unhappy customers. And it's really costing our industry a lot of money. You shop owners out there, I'm going to tell you, I know you don't believe in training or anything like that, but if you want to stay in the game for air conditioning, I highly advise your best and brightest who's going to stay in your shop. And that doesn't mean the service manager or the service writer or the owner. If you don't touch it, send your guys out to MACS for the yearly expo and training. Do that a couple times in a couple of their classes and their online stuff. Here you're lucky you have Skyline College to go to, and get your guys cut up to catch up to the modern times of air conditioning. And otherwise your shop is going to suffer deeply. All right, see you guys. For you small guys who have shops, if you've already eaten a couple compressors and stuff like that because you guys made mistakes, it's either get in the business and educate yourself or just get out of the business. Stay with brakes, stay with some lubes, stay with swapping spark plugs, rotating spark plugs, stay at that level. But if you're not ready to do air conditioning, take some really expensive losses when you make a mistake, you either better educate or get out. See you guys.